Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Do I like what I see when I'm looking at me? When I'm looking at that mirror?
I would change my life, my life,
Just fine, fine,
life,
fine,
life,
fine.
life.
Oh, yeah. Coming to you live from the Sit Your Ass Down studios. Welcome to the Me and D
Pops and Son
podcast.
for that ass.
For that ass.
For that
For
ass.
that ass. Today is June
Go
22nd,
Diddy.
2025. We thank you so much for listening and
2025.
watching us. However you like to hang out with us, we appreciate it.
Whatever
Pay a
you
few
want.
respects. Yeah, whatever you want.
And you know I can provide
Whatever you need.
whatever you need.
Rest
me
in
and
peace
D,
to
girl.
those who died.
The Me and D.
Right.
Pops and Son podcast for
that
that
ass. You know that has to be in there somewhere. FTA. When you see that,
FTA.
For that ass. We'll pay a few respects to some folks who passed away along the way. Over this last 7 days, Miss Ann Burrell, Food Network chef, that came as a surprise.
Yeah, I saw that. She was like 50,
55.
Yeah.
Like I say, when you see some of these ages and it's close to your number, you're like, damn,
man,
count your blessings.
For real, you have to.
To Baltimore Orioles prospect Luis Guevara, killed in a jet ski accident. Rest in peace to him. Spider-Man actor Jack Betts. Netflix star Sarah Barak, she was killed in a hit-and-run accident up in the Hamptons on the 19th. Lynn Hamilton, who was Donna, Fred's girlfriend on Sanford and Son, passed away. To Leonard Lauder, who globalized the family cosmetic business, he passed away. To Dr. Ron Taylor, he was a two-time World Series winner and former Toronto Blue Jays team physician. To Nina Kuchsick, marathon pioneer and first winner of the Boston Marathon on the women's side, she passed away. To Hee Haw and Fried Green Tomatoes character actor Gaylord Sartain. And finally, to Frederick Smith, the founder of FedEx and father of Pittsburgh Steelers, offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, he passed away. So rest in peace to those folks.
Yeah, rest in peace to those folks for sure.
Birthdays on today, June 22nd. Two-time major winner Dustin Johnson, golfer now on the LIV Tour, celebrates a birthday. To Ian Kinsler, former Major League ball player, two-time Gold Glover, celebrates a birthday. To Dan Weldon, British race car driver, he won the Indianapolis 500 in 2005 and 2008. To former UGA standout Champ Bailey, who's in the American College and Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Bailey? Yeah.
Champ Bailey was that beast.
He was cold. Champ Bailey was raw.
12-time Pro Bowler. NFL record most passes defended, 203. Played for the Redskins and the Broncos. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner celebrates a birthday today. He was the MVP in 99 and 2001. I didn't know he won both years. I knew he won in 99, but I didn't know he followed that up in 2001, Super Bowl champion. To Brant Brown, former infielder, now the hitting coach for the St. Louis Cardinals, celebrates a birthday. Three-time UFC heavyweight champion Randy Couture celebrates a birthday today.
Randy, okay.
Clyde the Glide Drexler celebrates a birthday. 10-time All-Star, played for the Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets, part of the Dream Team in 1992. To singer Cyndi Lauper, she celebrates a birthday.
Cyndi Lauper.
Actresses Meryl Streep, Lindsay Wagner, and Amy Brenneman all celebrate birthdays, along with actor Donald Faison of Scrubs fame and TV personality Carson Daly. So all those good folks celebrate birthdays. Little sports history on June 22nd. In 2017, Washington point guard Markelle Fultz is the first pick of the NBA draft by the Philadelphia 76ers. Man, that didn't go well, did it?
At all.
In 2014,
Damn. Shout out to Markelle Fultz.
Michelle Wie wins the U.S. Women's Open for her first major championship. She beats top-ranked Stacey Lewis by 2 shots. 2012, Jerry Sandusky is convicted on 45 counts of sexually assaulting 10 boys over 15 years. The accusations had led to the firing of Joe Paterno, Penn State's beloved coach who died of lung cancer January 22nd. Penn State's Board of Trustees ousted Paterno for what was called his failure of leadership surrounding the allegations about Sandusky. 2007, for the first time, Americans are taken with the top 2 picks in the NHL draft. Chicago selects, should I say, Patrick Kane with the first pick. Then Philadelphia then selects left wing James Van Riemsdyk with the second pick. I think it's Riemsdyk. 1999, and one of the greatest upsets in Wimbledon's 113-year history, top-ranked Martina Hingis loses 6-2, 6-0 in the opening round to Jelena Dokic, a 16-year-old qualifier who was ranked 129th at the time. 1996, Michael Moore beats Axel Schultz, not Axel Foley, but Axel Foley, but Axel Schultz in the 11th round for the IBF heavyweight boxing title. 1994, the Houston Rockets, led by Hakeem Olajuwon, win their first NBA title, beating New York Knicks 90-84 in Game 7 of the finals. Olajuwon gets 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks. Way back in 1938, in a rematch portrayed in both countries as good versus evil, Joe Louis of the United States knocks out Germany's Max Schmeling at 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the first round at Yankee Stadium to retain the World Heavyweight title. And in 1937, Joe Louis knocks out Jim Braddock in the 8th round at Chicago's Comiskey Park to win the World Heavyweight title, which he would hold for 11 years. So rest in peace. Happy birthday and sports history. What's on tap? What's on tap? Things happening, things coming up. We have another Game 7 tonight. We got OKC versus Indiana. They'll be going to the wire, to the brink, to the edge, playing for all the chips and all the marbles. We'll discuss it
and dips
and the marbles. We'll discuss that in just a little bit. We also have Game 2 of the College World Series today with LSU trying to win its 8th title, second in the last 3 years. The titles will be taken on Coastal Carolina, which won it all back in 2016. We also had the final round of the LPGA PGA Championship. Australia's Minjee Lee holds a 4-shot lead at -6 over Gino Thitkohl of Thailand. We got the NBA draft, runs 25th through the 26th. And then we have this one I won't be watching on Saturday the 28th, Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I'll be more tuned into UFC 317.
There we go.
Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira.
That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Really good. That's gonna be a real good fight.
Yes, sir.
About that one.
Yeah, that's what I'll have my eyes tuned in on. That Jake Paul.
I'm not.
Now, if I find out later that Julio shows up or knocks Jake Paul out, then I'll go back and watch the replay.
You ain't gonna wait.
No,
you ain't gonna wait.
No.
Yeah, because we already know what's gonna happen.
It's already fixed.
The
fix is in.
Sorry, scripted. We already know who's winning it.
Yeah, we already know this one.
We already know who's gonna win it. It's gonna be a draw or something like that.
Something crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be tuning into that UFC.
You and me both. All right, D. We got the NBA Finals as we mentioned.
Man,
there have been 19 Game 7s, with the most recent coming in 2016 when the Cleveland Cavaliers overcame a 3-1 deficit and stunned the Golden State Warriors, who were seeking back-to-back championships. Tonight's game between the Thunder and Pacers should be a good one. It's at home for OKC. My money's on the Thunder. I've been with them all this time. I'm hanging with them, D.
Yeah, man, me too. We said 6, but
Indiana pushed it to 7. Shout out to them, and Indiana's a great team, and if they win, well deserved. But I'm going OKC at home. They play different at home, but that doesn't mean anything. The Pacers won game 1, so saying another sneak attack could come about. But I think Thunder. From what I saw last game, it didn't even look like the Thunder was really trying to me.
It looked like they wanted to go back home and do it.
We'll see if that strategy worked, but they didn't really come out with the full trying to close it out type of deal. I think they gave Pacers, okay, we're going to let y'all get this one. And I expect to see a different team from Game 6 to Game 7 from the OKC Thunder because they definitely have what it takes to blow them out. I just feel like they want to finish it on their home court. They want to do it in front of their fans. They've been in Game 7s before against Denver. Hostile environment. They're used to this type of pressure. I think they'll close it out tonight in OKC, but it's going to be a good game. Indiana's going to give everything they got, but I got OKC.
You and me both. I agree with everything you said. The first 8 minutes or so when they got off to that quick lead, I'm like, okay, they mean business. And as soon as Indiana start controlling the ball game in that second quarter, you can see we'll just save it all for Sunday night. Yeah, we know we're going back home. We want to do it in front of our fans anyway. But like they keep saying, don't play with your food.
You don't.
You might have messed up. If that strategy backfires, man, it will be a colossal, epic, catastrophic
colossal
collapse.
Man, because like you just said, you don't play with your food. If you got a chance to finish them,
you're really supposed to do it.
Finish them. You're supposed to. Well, Jordan would never.
He never got to a Game 7 in the finals. Yeah, because the ramifications going into that pressure pack Game 7.
Because say something happens, say someone gets hurt.
That's what I was thinking, D, and I don't want to wish that up on anybody.
I'm just saying, all it takes is one of the superstars to get hurt.
That's why I put in the chat line yesterday. I'm suiting up the PA announcer, the cheerleaders, the dude that's selling street meat on outside the arena. Everybody's suiting up. I'm playing everybody, and we're going all out. We're leaving it all on the court.
All on the court.
We're leaving it. We are not leaving anything to chance. And the other thing, I'm starting the two big men. They have more success when Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren are on the court at the same time. It alters Indiana's shots in the paint.
And going to the lane.
Going into the lane. And then somebody figure out a way to guard McConnell. Can you stop the little dude? Because if he gets in the paint, it's a bucket. I think I've seen him miss maybe 4 to 5 shots. Maybe.
He gets to his spots really
when
good.
When he gets to his spot, it's a wrap. It's a bucket.
It is a bucket.
They don't even put a body on him. That's the thing. I know you don't want a senseless foul, but man, make him uncomfortable. Make him not even want to come back in the paint.
They're not respecting him, man.
Leading him up.
He said, put some respect on my name.
He's the MVP, in my opinion, because the spark that he's given them has kept that team in the series.
In a lot of
games, the points he comes up with makes the difference and gets them over the top, or it keeps them close enough where Siakam or Nembhard or even Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin.
That's who's hit some big shots as well.
Yeah, he'll hit some good.
When the game is close and they let him get that 3, Miles Turner as well has come up with some crucial threes. So don't play with your food, fellas. If you have a chance tonight to put the game away, do like you did Denver. Don't even make it a contest.
Get them out of there.
Get them out of there. Don't give them any hope. Send them back to Indianapolis crime. But if the Pacers do win it, I won't be upset.
Oh, yeah, that's well-deserved.
It will be well-deserved. You went through the gauntlet to get there, and you will have deserved it. But if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, I'd put my money on OKC.
If I had some money,
money to give away.
Right, which I don't.
I put it on
OKC. But it's going to be Game 7. This is going to be, this is history.
This is history.
This is history. I'm excited for it.
You and me both, son. Time for Pops' pop culture question of the week.
Pop culture.
This one, question. I didn't expect this one. It involves you. So Walker Hartman, aka Big Walk
Oh,
Dog, walking
Big
like
Walk
you're talking
Dog.
on outside the
Man,
NBA,
yeah, check out outside the NBA.
had a wedding bow tie fiasco that made People Magazine, People.com.
It blew up out of
It blew up out of
nowhere.
nowhere. That's what I said. I didn't expect this.
That
You were
is
part of
crazy.
it. So tell me, first of all, how did it make it to People? Who advanced that to them? And then give us some background of what happened and how you felt going through all that.
Shoot, this would have been a perfect for Walker to be on here because
I
he
thought
posted
about that. Yeah.
he posted that video a while ago, but it just got steam here lately and just picked up. I guess because it's wedding season. But long story short, on when they got married, we had the bow ties. People they buy the ties or the bow ties already before, and you think you can just go on YouTube and just try to just throw it on. Man, we was in there for a good about 20, 30 minutes trying to figure out how to get these bow ties just right because you can get them, but it wasn't staying tight, and
Were you all
man,
sweating?
we weren't really sweating. Probably because the hen dog has something to do with it. So after a while, you're like, hey, we might have to go bow tieless. But no, but we were on a mission to figure it out. One of his groomsmen, Corn, he goes by Corn. He ended up figuring it out. He did his, and he got his right, and he hooked everyone else up.
Okay.
But we were in there watching videos for at least a good 15, 20 minutes, just trying to practice, trying to get it going. He posted the video on his TikTok, and man, it just caught a lot of steam. And then next thing you know,
For it to make
'cause
People Magazine,
he
their
kept us
site,
posted.
People.com, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he kept us posted on just the progression of it. And then I follow him on TikTok as well. And I just kept looking. I'm like, man, this is going crazy. And then People's Magazine did an article about it. I'm like,
Right.
oh, dang. It went viral. But hey, we all ended up getting it together. We all look good. But yeah, for a moment there, we were like, oh, man, these bow ties are harder to tie than you think. You tie it just like a tie. You do cross, under, over, and then you make the little loop. But when you make that little loop, it's tough to get it like tight.
Mhm.
But
Where it just looks straight and
yeah,
looks
where it looks
good.
straight,
Yeah.
and it's just not just hanging off.
Right.
So yeah, we were struggling, man. We were struggling, but shout out to his groomsman Corn. He figured it out for us, and he got everyone right, and it ended up being a perfect day. But yeah, it was maybe like a little mild panic, but we was all cool and collective. We was gonna figure it out. We competitors, so we was gonna figure it out.
Right.
Somebody was gonna figure it out. But yeah,
I was just
it's
shocked
crazy.
that, like I said, out of the blue, I'm like,
That mug went crazy.
People.com. Then I'm reading the story. It had a full-fledged story on it and everything.
A full story.
And yeah, you're right. It probably should have had Walker on here to talk about it a little bit, and we may get him on here after the fact.
Yeah, if people, so it's Walker Hartman on TikTok. All you got to do is type in Walker Hartman on TikTok. It got 2.6 million views.
Or just go to People.com. It's there. The story is there.
People.com.
Yeah.
But they did it. But yeah, we got over 565,000 likes.
Damn.
Man, yeah, over 36,000 shares, 12.6 thousand saved videos, 923 comments. We was all in there.
I was looking. Some of the brothers looked like they were sweating in there.
Yo, we was in that mug watching that video for a good, man. You got to keep playing it. We were like, wow, why is these bow ties that hard to tie? But hey, we worked it out, and it ended up being a great time, man.
If you
Shout out
have
to
an
Hartman.
upcoming wedding or an event, my advice to you, clip on. That's what I use when I
clip
do a
on.
bow tie.
Clip,
A few
if you're
times
doing
that
a
I've
bow
worn.
tie,
Seriously, just clip that joker on.
just clip
and
that
as soon as you
joint
get tired of it, it's coming right off.
And I don't think none of us realized, as far as the groomsmen, I guess I didn't know we was doing bow ties. And I've never really rocked a bow tie. Ties, I'm cool with. I do ties. I can do a tie with my eyes closed.
Right.
I know how to do that. But the bow tie, yeah,
that's a little bit different.
You gotta be a little bit smooth with it. But yeah, go with the clip on.
All right. That's Pops' pop culture
That's what's up.
question of the week. When in Rome, don't tweet about London. So this one, D, I don't know if you saw this one. Commentator and sideline reporter Rachel Demita was fired Tuesday by the Big Three because she was tweeting about Caitlin Clark's return while she was covering a game. The game was June 14th when Clark and her Indiana Fever beat the brakes off the New York Liberty 102-88, where Clark had a few long-range bombs that caused Demeter to tweet about him. In their letter emailed to Demeter, the Big Three insinuated that she was promoting another league and competition instead of her own. Now, now she was covering the game. This was the game with Dwight Howard and Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson that we spoke of last week. And she did her interviews on the sideline. She did what she was supposed to do. But they're saying, while you're sitting there covering us, you shouldn't be tweeting about a different league. I totally agree. I don't know if she should have been fired.
Yeah, I don't know if she should have been fired. Now, I do agree with while you're doing it on our clock.
Yeah, you're on our clock promoting somebody else.
Yeah, you working at Papa John's right now, but you tweeting about how this Pizza Hut pizza so good. No, you on our clock now.
You're on our clock on camera eating a Big Mac.
That's what I'm saying. So if you did it after the game or do it, I know you're doing it while the game's happening, but the fact
you really should be paying attention to the game that you're watching.
If you're gonna be tweeting about something while you're on commentating our stuff, tweet about the instance with the Big Three, and Dwight Howard, and get your following to follow the Big Three. And I get it. It's a business.
It's a business.
Now the firing, I guess you got to set an example. You don't want this to happen again with somebody else that you get in there and let them know this is not.
We mean business, literally.
We mean business.
We mean business.
You hear, but damn, I didn't know they fired her.
Yeah, they let her go.
Crazy.
Yeah,
wow,
that is crazy.
Damn.
It was announced the other day that the Buss family has agreed to sell the controlling stake of the Los Angeles Lakers to TWG Global CEO Mark Walter, doing so with a franchise valuation of $10 billion. Wow. The most ever for a professional sports franchise.
That's crazy.
As part of the deal, Jeannie Buss, whose family has had control of the Lakers since her dad bought the team in 1979, intends to remain as governor, said a person who spoke to the Associated Press, on the condition of anonymity because neither side immediately announced the details. It is not clear how much of the Lakers that Walter is acquiring. However, he is part of a group that bought 27% of the Lakers back in 2021. They also have a stake in the LA Dodgers, as well as the LA Galaxy or LA Express. They've got some more.
Okay, they have some stake.
They've got some stake in some other sports franchises. But the Buss family is set to make $10 billion.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
10 billion. Yeah, y'all can go. Y'all have it. So that's the controlling. You said the controlling
stake. Yeah,
stake of it.
So they'll have a little bit left. And again, but you just made your family $10 billion. I'm torn just because I know the backstory of how Dr. Jerry Buss leveraged everything he had in life to buy that team and how much it's meant to that family over these years. Sometimes money isn't everything.
I feel you on that.
They're already making good money. They're already millionaires. It seemed like you would want to keep that legacy in the family. That's my whole point.
Yeah, it's synonymous with your family, especially, yeah, like you said, all the things that he had to go through, the sacrifices he had to make. He literally put his life on the line to get that team, to own that team, and keep that team for his children's children's children. And I know they're always going to be a part of the Laker history, but once it's sold, that's someone else. That's somebody else's
baby at that point.
And they can, and then their mindset, they can turn into whatever they want.
Whatever they want. Yeah.
I know there's other influences that has to go with it, but you're not going to be you're not the last say so no more.
Right.
So like, even if you don't like something, the way something going, you gave up that right.
You gave up that right.
Now the $10 billion.
I know. I know. Billion. That's unheard of money.
Call them Lakers. Who? Lakers. You can change it to the rivers. Call it whatever you want.
The creeks.
Right, the creek. Body of water. I don't give a damn. $10 billion is a lot of bread. But I know what you're saying as far as just like, sometimes, especially when something is in your family, when you have family land or family house and something like that, somewhere you grew up on, and there's a lot of memories, a lot of things that went into it more than just the money.
Exactly.
So I agree upon that as far as like it's more than it's just more than just the money sometimes. But $10 billion.
That'll make you change your mind.
Not mad at you. We got pictures. They got plenty of documentaries that we can do, that we can watch for years to come.
Okay, so is Johnny? I knew about Jim Buss because he controlled the team at one time, and there's a younger sister, Janie. So you're gonna split $10 billion 4 different ways. That's a nice piece of pie.
I still get $1 billion.
Two is be 2.5.
Yeah, I'm cool. I can
$2.5 billion, not million, billion.
And it might not be with the kids and stuff like that. They might have, of course, it's in their family, but it might not be their passion. Something that they're willing to just to go all the way till they die for.
Jim ran the team for a while, and that's when he gave Kobe that huge contract that then they couldn't do anything. All they had was Kobe and some scrubs around him. That sale came out of nowhere. They kept that very quiet. Didn't even know it was up for grabs. But I bet you by him already being in the mix, having a partial stake in the team, it made it easy to figure out, hey, do I have a group that we can put some more money together,
right? And
we can just go ahead and get the controlling interest. And Jeannie, I'm gonna offer you $10 billion. Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to lay down at night and say, damn, I'm gonna stand on principle and not put this money in the bank and I can live off. She already was living nicely, but yeah,
yeah, and you never know. They might, as far as the daily operations and doing all the things that goes with it and covering up the hush hush and scandals.
And maybe she got voted. Maybe they voted as a family.
Right.
And that was the consensus. It could have been 3 against 1.
Right. All you need is vote. Yeah. All you need is,
Like you said, and if everybody doesn't have that same passion and desire to keep the team, what are we doing?
I bet one of them's like, I don't even watch basketball.
Probably Janie. She said, I want that cheese.
Right.
What are we doing?
Like, man, I don't even really like basketball like that. That's crazy, though.
Yeah. So next topic, if I'm paying you, do I owe you?
If I'm paying you, do I owe you?
So there's a little play on words. So this is around infielder slugger Devers finally was traded to the San Francisco Giants this week after a few months of drama and toxicity in Boston.
Ooh, toxicity.
During the offseason, the Red Sox signed third baseman Alex Bregman, which was Devers' position, and to add insult to injury, they asked him to switch to DH, which at first he refused to do. At the time, Devers was considered the team's star, and as such, did he deserve to know Bregman was being signed and give his blessing, or because he was an employee, was he supposed to go with the flow? So if I'm paying you, do I owe you the courtesy of letting you know, getting your buy-in? Because he didn't know till it became public.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he knew when we knew.
A lot of times that happens with players, especially getting cut, traded. I forgot who it was, but he was in the game. Well, he was on the bench. I forgot he was a basketball player, and they traded him while he was on the bench. I forgot what it was, who it was, but you would like the courtesy, you would appreciate the courtesy, but not necessarily.
And then sometimes too, if we let everybody know, then word gets out and it could mess the deal up.
Exactly. So, because if we let you know, then you let someone know.
You let your agent know, then they're going to leak it.
And especially with free range and free speech, as soon as we let you know, you don't have no loyalty to us anyway. After you find out you get traded, you put it black. You start letting some things go, then it lowers like you said, the value, the trade, and you
may even mess up the trade.
Yeah, it almost is. I can't even let you know because I don't want to let it to leak out.
Right.
We only need to let a certain amount of people know. You'll find out when it's time to find out. But
I think they probably could have told them, but maybe like right before. Don't let them find out when we find out. Hey man, I just want to give you a heads up. We're about to release this. Yeah. And then as soon as you tell them, you release it. Don't ass around and wait and let him beat you to the punch.
As soon as you hang up, hit the send button.
Hey man, I just did it. I had other. Oh yeah, I just want to let you know. Yeah. All right, man. All right, bye. Click. Yeah, we just signed Alex Bregman.
Set it up right then and there.
Yeah, make it happen right then and there. But if I'm paying you,
If I'm
do I
paying
owe
you,
you?
do I owe you?
And
Not
again,
for real.
I don't think you necessarily had to tell him all the details. I think you could have given him a heads up, though.
Yeah. You ain't gotta-
Ironically, though, D, San Francisco is playing Boston this weekend. He went 0 for 5 in the first game. He hit a home run against them yesterday, so he
damn,
got a little payback back.
little
But
payback.
he's
Yeah,
got a new
little-
home. He's got a team that wants him. He said he's open to play any position, but what else are you gonna say? Going to a new
yeah, you the
team,
new man. Yeah,
you're
you
not
the new
coming in
man.
there making too many demands because you
No,
got a new lease on life.
you gotta earn your
But
earn your strike.
they said it was pretty awkward in Boston for these last couple of months just because he didn't want to be there. Man was pissed off. Like,
He wasn't happy to
damn,
be
man.
here.
And then does it make you hold a grudge against the player though? Because it's not his fault. I'm a free agent. I'm sorry, man. They didn't tell you that I was coming, but I'm here now. I was wondering what that relationship was like.
Right, that is because it
makes
is
it
that little
awkward.
awkwardness. It
Yeah.
doesn't make it very awkward.
Yeah.
Very, very awkward. Like, yeah, I'm here to replace you.
And then you divide the clubhouse too. Well, that was our man's over there.
Oh, you know that? Yeah, that's my homie
yeah,
right there.
rocking with Ruffy. I'm rocking with Ruffy.
Yeah.
You didn't sign
Damn.
Bregman.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
they
it does
had to
make it
get
real
rid of
awkward.
him. They had to
Mhm.
trade him. So I'm happy that he found a new home. Now Bregman, he can relax and be the player that he needs to be. And I guess all is well back in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Shohei returns to the mound. I don't know if you
Shohei.
saw this story. The unicorn who underwent elbow surgery in 2023 hadn't pitched in 663 days before he returned to the mound on June the 16th. He
Damn.
pitched one inning against the Padres. He gave up 2 hits, allowed 1 run, and he'll make his second start today. But we talked about this before. I would only utilize him at the plate. We've seen him pitch. We know he can pitch.
Right.
You've done that and been successful. I want to extend your career, especially all the money they have invested in him. But the 600 and something million.
Right.
I just need you to hit, man. I just need you
Man.
to be 50-50 or 40-40 every year.
40, 50, 50.
Yeah, I
Just need
don't
you to be
need you.
available.
I need you available. I don't need you throw your shoulder out or throw your elbow out and then you're back on the disabled list. You can't do anything for us at the plate.
Yeah, I agree with that. Shoot, we got pictures. There's some pictures in there. Now, if it's like something drastic happens and something happens to our pitchers and we need to resort to him, or maybe we just might need a quick change up, you might throw him in there. But like you said, let's just have you hit. Let's
Right.
just have you just do that. Don't have him do too much because you already, you're going to make this dude throw his arm out.
Right.
And then you're going to lose the pitching and hitting. So
And then you
just
can
have
look
him hit.
stupid.
Man, yeah, especially all that money you can put in. It's already worked out for you here recently. You got a championship, then being there. If you want to get more championships, you're going to need him there. You're going to need him healthy.
Yep.
You're going to need him available. Don't throw his arm out. Just let him hit. Let him focus on hitting.
Yep.
And then, like I said, you can resort to him if it ever comes down to if you just need just a quick switch or
An
something
emergency.
drastic happens, emergency. Okay, we got Shohei, so we're good. I know he can cook some up and
We can slide him
it
in
can
there
be
for
like
one
that.
game or something like
Type
that.
deal.
Yeah.
Something like that to where like, man, our pitching's really doing bad right now. Shohei, warm up a little bit. Let's see if we can just get a spark somewhere.
Right.
Do it as a spark, but yeah, he needs to focus on hitting because that's at him as a hitter is good enough, great enough,
Right.
for real.
It
Like,
is.
I feel like you guys are doing a little too
You're
much.
trying
you
to
know
do
what I'm
too
saying? Like,
much.
I
Yeah.
feel like you're doing a little too much. You already got it. Like, I think you're good.
I agree. Totally agree, son. This next segment, to D or not to D. This is around the word dynasties. How many
Dynasties.
titles must be won in what period of time to be considered a dynasty? For me, I say if you get 3 and 5 to 6 years, that's a dynasty.
Mhm.
Anything less, I don't think that's a dynasty. And where this conversation stems from, the Florida Panthers just closed out their second
Right.
straight Stanley Cup final win this past Wednesday. They beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. It also
Mhm.
marked their third straight appearance in the said final, but they did not win that first time. So you got 2 and 3 years. I
Right.
say if you get 3 and 3 to 5, or
You get it. Say if they go again, if they win the next year,
Now
or
they
if they
go
win
back
the
to
next
back to
year,
back, or just say they win in the next 2 years.
if they win in the next 2
That's
years,
3 and 5 years.
I think I could consider
That's a
that a
dynasty. Yeah,
because you got that. Because people don't realize it is very tough to win a championship,
it
to
is.
go to the championship, to have that same type of so many things factor into just having momentum. If you're hot, your players,
Health,
babies, deaths, emotional stability, divorces, money. There's so many things that can factor into. These are human beings we're talking about.
The rosters change over every year.
All the time.
Yeah.
Someone gets fired. Someone gets sick.
Yeah.
There's so many things that can happen that can hinder your chances of winning a championship. So the fact that they've gone to 3 already, got 2. If they win another one in the next 2 years, I think the relevancy of the team, the dominance of the team, and then they can solidify it with a championship, I consider that a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that window of the past 5 years, and you got 4 at least 3 championships between that, I consider that a dynasty.
Totally agree.
I think
back to back is not a dynasty.
Yeah, no,
even though we talked about how hard it is, but we see that all the time. But if you get 3 or more within a short period of time, that's a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally a dynasty. So, to D or not to D.
To D or not to D, but yeah, they are definitely working on a dynasty.
They are working on it. They're building a dynasty.
They came out of nowhere, like the Florida
because you had the Tampa Bay Lightning for quite a few years, and then all of a sudden the Panthers got hot. So Florida's dominating hockey right now in these last few years.
State is dominating a very cold sport.
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on.
And one thing I'll say, and I did watch all 6 games. The Blues, man, you got a lot of work to do,
man, to compete.
Just to see the difference in between how fast they are, how physical they are. Even Edmonton Blues, you look like a minor league team. I don't know if it's a matter of drafting money, because that's a small market team too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't know Sunrise, Florida was one of the most affluent cities in the country. There's a lot of money in Sunrise, Florida, where the Panthers reside. But
that's what it takes, a lot of money.
It takes a lot of money, but I'm just trying to figure out, what are they doing so drastically different that the Blues aren't doing?
Definitely, you got to study success. What is it? The players? Is it the system? Is it the style? Obviously, whatever they've been doing has been working.
They built something.
They built something, and they've been able to sustain it. So what are they doing? You're going to have to study that and see and mimic it a little bit with your organization, because obviously they keep going back and they're winning championships. So, yeah.
But just like I said, the speed and the physicality, it's like a minor league team going up against a major league team. So, anyway, we'll move on. All right, son. Jenkins.
Jenkins back.
Jenkins says it's hot outside. He's just in his little pen.
Jenkins back.
And got to be fair. If we're going to talk about it on one side, we got to talk about this person when he messes up. It's Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
This is his second ticket this month. And at the high rate of speed that he was traveling, what if he had hit someone and crippled him? Or worse off, killed him, and he was Henry Ruggs the 5th.
Henry Ruggs, and then I'm missing his name. Rest in peace to LSU receiver.
Oh, yeah, and then he ended up committing suicide.
Committing suicide.
Yeah, we talked about him. And for those who don't know, Cleveland quarterback.
Kyron Lacy.
Yeah, Kyron Lacy. There you go. Rest in peace, Kyron. Shedeur Sanders was stopped going under 1 in a 65. The second time he's been stopped this month. You dropped to the 5th round, dude. So you're not getting many
91
opportunities.
In a 65.
Huh? That was the first one?
That's the first one, was a 91 and a 65.
What are you in a hurry for? I get if you have a nice car, you want to air it out. But, man, it's very important for you to show Cleveland what you can do. A lot of times, 5th round picks get cut.
Oh,
you're just giving people a reason to not put you on the field. From everything that I've heard, that they say when they put the pads on, if he lights it up like he's been doing, he's going to be starting soon.
Oh,
But you can't
absolutely.
have these off the field distractions. You can't have these. What if they locked you up? But more importantly, what if you hit somebody and killed them or you crippled them? Your career is over, man.
Oh, have we not
Everything that
learned?
you've been fighting
Work
for,
for
waiting for, living for, training for, your dad prepared you for this moment. And
it's all
just
gone.
because you want to speed for no reason, again, late at night, going 101, man, that makes you what? Tell him, Jenkins, it makes you a jackass.
Makes you a jackass. You got to learn from other people's mistakes. You got to learn from
Man,
other people's mistakes because there's so many examples here recently of just even going back with like Jalen Carter at Georgia after they won the national
right.
championship and they're drag racing and speeding and someone ends up gets in an
Two
accident
people were
and dies.
killed in that one. Yeah.
You have to realize that like you're not above mortality. Easily something can happen and your life is gone. Your career is over. Someone's life is gone. You got to take it more serious. You got to take it more serious, especially at this, especially because the first time they let you go, they definitely could have done something the second
Sure
time.
could
The
have.
second time in a short amount of time, oh, we caught you again.
In the same month.
Oh, okay. So you saying F it.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
You saying pretty much, oh, I'm Shedeur Sanders. I can get away with anything. Okay, cool. We'll teach you a lesson then.
You hadn't
Like,
even
come
made
on
the
now.
team yet.
You ain't even made the team yet. You were a fifth rounder.
Fifth rounder.
Like, humble yourself a little bit,
Yeah.
sir. We know your talent is a first rounder. We expect you to go to the first round, but the NFL has something else to say about that. You're a fifth
Yeah,
rounder.
exactly.
Humble yourself.
Earn it, man. And then once you earn it, keep it. Let everybody know that, hey, I'm going to show you why I'm that dude. But you got to make better decisions because that's what you want your quarterback to do is make good decisions. And we mentioned Henry Ruggs, and this next segment is called, Do You Believe in Second Chances? And yes, I do. Henry Ruggs III was granted a special release this past week where he spoke at a Hope for Prisoners event. Ruggs, who was drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders, was convicted and sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison after the car that he was driving, 156 miles an hour, struck and killed a woman and her dog. His blood alcohol was twice the state limit. Ruggs is eligible for parole in August of 2026 and says he would like to return to football. I'm all for giving him a second chance at that because it sounds like he has learned a lesson. But going back to Shedeur, you don't want to be in this position thinking about what if I had only just done what I was supposed to do? What if I hadn't been speeding? This dude is looking for another opportunity, and I think he should get it if he deserves it. If he still has the talent, he'll be 27 when he gets out. If they grant him parole, that's the other thing.
Right.
They gotta grant you the parole, but you believe in second chances, D? You think he's paid his debt to society?
That's a very tough question. I do believe in second chances, especially with a maturity thing. You getting older, you realize that life is short, life is more crucial. You take a lot more importance in just your life and other people's lives. So things like that, like speeding and things of that nature, going fast, it's not even worth it. So hopefully he's at a better place. Hopefully he's learned from it. Hopefully he can pass this on to someone else as far as a second chance. Now, we'll see if he can, as far as like the NFL goes, it's going to be tough because there's a lot of just young talent. There's a lot of new talent now that just a new wave of receivers just came into the league. You would really have to do something substantial and be that top player when you got drafted. So I think a second chance at life, a second chance at society, a second chance to improve yourself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be me advocating for him to be back in the NFL, just to get his life back on track as far as just maybe your role, God has put you in this position to teach other people what not to do. Maybe you can go on to do a lot of just positive talk, motivational talk. You go around the country talking to kids. You specialize in talking to young prospects ready for the NFL and talk about the issues and the things and the distractions that go along with it. So your calling might be something, it might be related to the NFL. It might not be necessarily you playing in the NFL, but I do agree he should have a second chance on life and finding out what he can positively do for the community and pass this to other players. So I think he should get a second chance. I don't know if it's going to be in the NFL, but I think he should get a second chance at life and getting his life back on track and finding a way that he can impact other players and let people know, don't follow the mistakes I did. learn from what I did, just so that you don't have to deal with this jail time and your freedom being gone, because that's your freedom
That's
being
your
gone. Your
freedom.
freedom, and especially just being black, and they're waiting to take your freedom from you. You're the prime example of who they want to put in shackles and keep you in a jail and keep you subdued and keep you quiet. Hopefully he can turn this into a positive role model for other players that look like him and are in the same situations like that. So hopefully he does get a second chance on life, because I think he has paid his dues. Anytime you go to jail, I think you paid your dues. They treat you like a dog, worse than a dog in there.
Exactly. Very well said, son. Well said. Time for the wild, the weird, the sad, and the disturbing.
Damn, wild, weird, sad, and disturbing.
Michigan high school bowling coach fatally shot teen grad inside her home before killing himself in a murder-suicide.
Yeah, that's wild.
A Michigan high school bowling coach fatally shot one of his former bowlers who had recently graduated inside her home before turning the gun on himself in a horrific murder-suicide last week. Former Bedford High School's bowling club coach Ryan Least fatally shot 17-year-old Gwendolyn Smith multiple times at her stepfather's Bedford Township home on June 14th, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office announced. Smith's stepfather returned home at around 6 p.m. to discover the mortally wounded teen and her alleged killer, Sheriff Troy Goodnow said during a press conference Wednesday, June 18th. Least had gained entry into the home, but officials did not reveal if he had broken into the house or if he was let in. At this time, the point of entry and access remains under investigation, Goodnow said. Smith's death was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner's office, and Least died of suicide. Goodnow didn't specify the relationship between Smith and her former coach. Gwendolyn did not consider the relationship between the two of them to be romantic, Goodnow told reporters. Least worked alongside the public school's bowling club, gaining the gig through the local bowling alley, and was not an employee of the school district, officials said. He had recently resigned from his position at the bowling alley. Least had passed the required background checks for youth coaches in Michigan. That is your wild, your weird. That's disturbing. And it's sad. You just ended this young girl's life.
And sad.
Sound like he had some romantic feelings for her. That's what I get out of this. There were some text messages exchanged. Apparently, she didn't feel the same way. And man, take your own life. Don't take her life.
Right.
That's my whole thing. If you're so upset and distraught and
oh my God,
she don't want me, okay. And
get a clue, bro. Get a clue. Like, bro. That is very weird. And he's weird, man. There's just some weird people out there. Especially that was your student.
Right.
Or where, your player.
Yeah, your athlete and somebody who you're supposed to mentor and train and coach to be better.
You're not in this for just a romantic relationship. You're not trying to date one of your players. Like, bro, what are you on? And the fact that, okay, bro, it wasn't gonna work anyway. So why are you gonna take her life and then take your life? These are some sick people.
It's a lot of sickness out here.
That's a lot of sickness in your brain, bro. That's a lot of sickness. I don't know what it is, but that's wild, weird, and sad, because now you didn't just what was all that for, bro? Like, you can't take a no?
And the one thing I didn't find out what his age is and was, but it don't matter because he took his life. But more importantly, you took her life, though.
Right.
She's just 17, just getting ready to start life.
She's not even she's not even an adult.
She just graduated. She didn't even get to. You just took all that from her, and you took that from her family,
and her family, and her parents, and
yeah, that's wild, weird, sad, and
disturbing. Wow.
All right, son.
Crazy.
Time for that juicy news product placement. Sell some of this. Get out your mama's basement.
The XS.
We are powered by XS.
Always.
Time for that juicy
news.
Because if you don't know, now you know.
Young brother.
young
sister,
sister, young
player,
player, Dwight Howard, P. Diddy, Porter family, Cheetah.
Okay, for that juicy news, because if you don't know, now you know. This was on Thursday. So former NFL star running back Adrian Peterson gets in a fist fight with a man over a poker hand in a social club. So there's a video that surfaced between AP and this random guy. Has to be over money. The full story didn't come out as far as why they were fighting and why they were going to blows, but poker, fighting, had to be some type of money. Someone felt cheated. Someone got played. You thought he was bluffing. He wasn't bluffing. You went all in. He took all your bread. Got an ish talking back and forth, but the video surfaced, and for AP to be this a big dude, info player, being a physical guy that he is, this random guy was piecing him up.
He was getting handled.
He hit a nice little counter, boom, real quick.
Yeah.
And then even though AP tried to get a hold of him towards the end, he's still the poker player. Seems like he was covered in his hands because he was standing up with AP like no other. Here lately, we've been hearing a lot of stories with Adrian Peterson
had the DUI at the draft.
Yeah, the DUI.
Yeah, bankrupt.
He was bankrupt.
Whipping the kids.
He was whipping his kids way too hard with the belt, leaving welts and bruises and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
He did the celebrity boxing against Le'Veon Bell, got knocked out in that.
That's probably when he should have learned, I'm not a fighter.
You're not a fighter. You gotta move. You gotta stick and move, man. He thought he had something, and then now you're in a social club with this random guy, and you over here fist fighting. Man, you might need to get something together, brother, because obviously it's not going your way.
Don't fight Jake Paul.
Don't fight Jake Paul, because I'm
he
gonna
will
take Jake Paul.
I'll take Jake Paul in that one.
This regular dude pieced him up
nicely.
Nice
he did put a nice little combo together on him.
Nice connecting. So Adrian Peterson, what's going on?
And then he was throwing so wildly.
Right.
AP was. I'm like, he was trying to time it, then he's like he slipped or something, and oh boy,
He slipped and then try to grab him, try to get a hold of him, and it looked like he was hitting him a little bit, but then towards the end, dude got another one.
Yeah, he did get another one in there, up against the wall.
AP? Yeah, so AP, I mean, get your life together. He definitely will be in contention for the Hall of Fame. He did have a real good career. He was one of the best of his time, but these outside incidences are overshadowing his actual career because you're like, damn, AP, like, what's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on?
He's missing the spotlight. I think that's what it is. He's having a hard time coping.
Right. And it doesn't seem he's too good with his money.
No.
These bad financial investments, owing people some money. And then
they had back taxes.
A lot of back taxes. He wasn't paying it, and he owed some people some money. So, yeah, AP, we're going to see. Hopefully the full story comes out and we can actually see what happened between the two. But, I mean, if we could guess, it was over some type of money.
He owed that dude some money and then got to talking junk or accused him of cheating. Yeah.
Yep. So something happened, but.
That's some good juicy news, son. Good news.
That's juicy news.
All right, time for our pops, flops, and props.
Pops, flops, and props.
Oh, those pops, flops, and props. Who you popping?
Pops going to NBA Finals, Game 7. The best words you can hear from the NBA Finals, Game 7. You know what I'm saying? There's not too many of these that happen. So we got one going down tonight. I think it's going to be an instant classic. But, man, Pops to the NBA Finals. I feel like overall this has been one of the best NBA Finals, best playoffs that I've seen and paid attention to in a long time. So I'm excited for Game 7.
You and me both. It's been compelling, and I'll be tuned in from the first jump ball. That was my Pops. Who's your flop? Who's your flop, son?
Flops is going to go to Shedeur Sanders, man. For the 2 speeding tickets, man, you're going to have to be example. You're going to have to humble yourself. Don't take it for granted because it already shows you were a 5th-round pick. You weren't a 1st-round pick. Your spot is really not guaranteed. We see how NFL players at all the times get drafted, supposed to have these success in the NFL, and then they let the outside
influences
take away from their career.
Yeah.
Don't be one of them, man. Your dad worked too hard. You worked too hard. Your whole family worked so hard for this. Man, just don't F it up. Just don't F it up. So that was my flop, Shedeur. Come on now. Just do the speed limit. It's okay. It's safe.
I agree. Game 7 tonight. NBA Finals, with NHL over with. My flop is going to MLB executives for not promoting the game more, because this is that dead period where you could definitely dominate if you were promoting the young stars of the game, bring some eyeballs to your sport. Because when I ask people, okay, when game 7 is over with, what are you going to? And everybody's, I really don't know, or, I don't really care about the WNBA, so I won't be watching that. And I'm like, man, MLB, you missed a prime opportunity to get some eyeballs on your sport. So let's see what you can do to make that happen. But right now, it's a flop. Who you propping, son? Who you propping?
Props is going to go to the Florida Panthers for winning the Stanley Cup once again. They, like we said, they are working their way to a dynasty. But yeah, my props is going to go to the Florida Panthers, man. Keep that success going.
All right, my prop is going to go to JJ Spaun, who sank a 64-foot putt on the final hole of the U.S. Open. I misspoke last week. I said it was the PGA Championship, but it was the U.S. Open. He won it on Father's Day for the first major win of his career. Also, he was 4 shots behind early in the round. The rain delay helped him. He was able to regroup, get his mind back together. He attacked the course, walked the players down, and like I said, made a 64-foot putt that will always be in U.S. Open history remembrance. So, yeah, nice job, JJ Spaun. All right, son. We are at that point where we tell someone to sit your ass down. Man, sit your ass down. Please. And thank
you. So, yeah, this is surprising. My sit your ass down is going to go to John Jones. It says John Jones, was it this morning or last night?
It was last night.
UFC champ John Jones retires because of, another criminal charge in Albuquerque. So it looks like John Jones, Albuquerque resident, considered one of the best of all time, shocked the sports world on Saturday, saying that Dana White announced that John Jones will be retiring. Let's see what the charts see. Yep, it's a wrap. So John Jones has been called to appear for a bond arrangement July 24th in Metro Court, says, because of a misdemeanor charge of leaving the scene of an accident in February.
Damn.
Looks like another little accident. He fled the scene. They found out that was him.
It's probably drug related. I bet he's back on drugs again.
Probably back on drugs again, because when he's champ, he's partying. He out there kicking it. He ends up retiring, especially because being at 37, it's time to go ahead, and I guess he's going to retire. I don't see him coming back, but he's still going to be considered one of the greatest of all time. But also with the distractions, you're not going to be able to bring his name up without talking about some of the stuff outside of the MMA that got him the distractions, the trouble, the things that caused him to it didn't really tarnish his career, because he still had so much success. It led to his
downfall in terms of not being able to fight on a regular basis.
The story of it. You're like, yeah, he was great, but couldn't leave that cocaine alone.
Exactly. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, but John Jones, sit your ass down.
Damn, John. All right, son. My sit your ass down is going to go to the person currently occupying the White House. I'm telling him to sit his ass down and shut the fuck up. He stated on Thursday, which was Juneteenth, that there are too many non-working holidays in America. It's costing our country billions of dollars to keep all those businesses closed. The workers don't want it either. And soon we'll end up having a holiday for every once working day of the year. It must change if we're going to make America great again. So just for a little background history, Juneteenth, also called Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, or Jubilee Day, commemorates the day in 1865 when enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, received the news that they were free 2 years after Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. In 2021, then President Joe Biden signed the holiday into law. So my thing to the president who's there, the person occupying the White House, whether you like it or not, we're going to be celebrating. Even if you remove it as from being a federal holiday, we're still going to make it our day. We're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate even more. I'm going to start taking the day off going forward.
Honestly, for real.
I'm going to turn it into our holiday. So sit your ass down. Shut the fuck up. All right.
For real. Take away President's Day.
Yeah, take away something that you want.
If there's too many holidays, yeah, take away. Why do we need President's Day? Why we need Columbus Day?
Why we need 4th of July?
If you want to be real,
let's be real. You want to go after midnight.
There's a lot of holidays you can take away, but
yeah, don't be talking about taking our day away.
Right, y'all came up with this ploy to make money and come up with all these holidays just so that you can get mad. Like, there's a lot of holidays you can get rid of.
Now we have our holiday. We can get some back and some recognition.
Now it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
All right, son, man. Good stuff today, man. We talked about quite a bit, well-rounded, a lot of topics.
Absolutely.
We hope you all enjoyed it. And of course, we thank you all for listening and watching the Me and D
Pops and Son
podcast.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass.
Lady.
All right, D, tell them.
Man, but until next time, until we meet again.
My bad.
Until we're back on here, I'ma holler.
They let my Popeye get cold.
They let my Popeye get cold.